Hey guys, this is Moogle Master 102. Welcome to another episode of Final Fantasy Mystic Quest. Today we're going to go ahead and do the battlefield, and we're going to go to our next dungeon, which is the Ice Pyramid. But for now, we're going to actually do the battlefield. I will basically just do this. I'll just cut to what we... Alrighty, so it's cleaned out. We didn't really get anything. So we're going to actually go back, heal up, and, you know, do our next dungeon. Because that's kind of how you do things in a Final Fantasy game, is you do a dungeon and, yeah, go on with the plot. And, yeah. So, we're going to go through the Ice Pyramid, which is probably the longest of all the dungeons. It is quite ridiculous on how long these dungeons are. So, we're going to go ahead. Well, I was going to poke it. I see a switch in the statue, but it can't reach it. Let's push it with something. Yeah, that's right. Poke it with a sword. That's what you do. You poke the shit out of it with your sword. Okay, so, there's chests over here. Mind you, there's invisible enemies in this. That's the catch of this level. It's quite annoying, actually. So, we're just going to go ahead and traverse just through kind of every part of the dungeon. And, of course, invisible enemy. Why was I not surprised at that? Okay, so we'll just throw jumbo bombs at it. Because that's how we do it. That's how we do it. That's all I can really tell you. And, just, yeah. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Okay, anyway, so we're gonna go ahead and go through more of this area. We're gonna go, of course, invisible enemies. That's the catch. I keep forgetting about that. I keep thinking, you know, oh yeah, this level's just gonna be fine. You know what I'm gonna do? Fuck you all. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna actually save that because fire damage does nothing to the Lemaeas. However, thunder does. Look at all that damage. Perfect. Okay, so what we're gonna do is go through that doorway over here, and another invisible enemy. It's gonna be the bane of my existence. Yeah, these guys don't really do much, thanks to the armor that we got too. And that was the armor we got back in, like, what, the second or first dungeon. That really helps us. I mean, you can do, like, a no armor run of this game, but it'd be hard as fuck. And we got some new enemies here. Actually, not really new enemies, because we saw them in the battlefield, but you didn't. I did, though. But, yeah, we got the mages. Mages don't really do much. They just cast confusion spells and ice spells on you. And, the ice spells don't really do much. I think the boss is more of a threat than the mages are, really. But, basically, around here, I think there's some invisible... Of course! Like, as soon as I mention it, I step right into one. I remember this part quite well. Like I said, though, this is the longest dungeon in the game, so, oh, great. Both our characters are... Stop putting my characters to sleep. Oh, my God. Oh, my God, that's annoying. That's the most annoying thing about the Lemaeas, especially when there's 3 of them. 3! Who puts... like, what? Okay, poke it with a sword. Easiest thing to do is poke that thingy with a sword. And, of course, or... Okay, well, these guys aren't really much. Let's save our magic, because we're going to need that for the boss. I'm not going to spoil what the boss is. You're going to have to figure it out yourself. But I like to kind of get rid of enemies with spells. It's been a habit of mine. So, what we're going to go ahead and do is just kill these enemies. They're really, really weak, actually. They're not really much. So, Okay, good. Oh, of course. Oh, we got new enemies. We got the Stony Roost, who can, these enemies can petrify, which means that they'll turn you to stone, and basically it counts as, wow, 1,300 damage on these enemies. Jesus Christ. Wow. I'm not even going to say anything, but, well, I am going to say something. That's incredible damage that Phoebe just did. Okay, we got other new enemies. We got the Sphinx and the Fan Squid. The Fan Squid. That's a weird name for the enemy, but yeah. That damage though, holy crap. But yeah, basically Petrify counts as like your characters dying. So you want to be careful of that, because if both your characters get petrified, it pretty much gives you a game over. And the cool thing about this game, because it makes it so simple, is that when you get a game over, you can just pretty much restart the battle you were just in. So it's kind of worth it in the end. I mean, not worth it in the end. It's kind of like, it's a simple game, really. This game is more made for just the more younger audience, pretty much. So, you know, I would not be surprised at that. The good thing about this, though, is that this level literally will get you up to like level 16 by the end of the dungeon. And we got new enemies here called the Gather. The Gather. I have no clue. Like, who are coming up with the names for these enemies? But when they get low, their eyeballs just kind of like bulge out of their heads. But yeah. Oh, look at that. We're fighting the Freezer Crab, which is obviously just a normal enemy, but a lot weaker because he just gets one shot by a bomb. I don't know why they reuse sprites in this game, but it's all good, really. I guess they wanted to make a simple game. They just thought, you know, let's just reuse sprites from, you know, earlier parts of the game. But using enemies from the Falls Basin? I'm confused. But and recolored, obviously. Kind of odd, but what are you gonna do? Okay, let's go ahead and get a chest. Get some arrows. I love the arrows. But the gimmick of this level is the invisible enemies. I cannot stand the invisible enemies, but what are you gonna do? You can't predict where they're gonna be, where they are gonna be. But like I said, what are you gonna really do? Just, it's ridiculous. And the mage just healed himself. Great, just what I friggin' needed. Enemies that heal themselves. Okay, so now that we got through this part of the dungeon, of course, another invisible enemy. And 3 Lameas. This is not good. We need to kill one ASAP. You, kill that one. Okay. Yep. That's the problem about this. Lameas will keep putting you to sleep no matter what, and it's annoying. If they put both your characters to sleep, it gets really annoying when they constantly spam it. I've actually, in another playthrough of this game, I had a moment where the Lameas kept putting me to sleep, and it literally took me 20 minutes to kill them because that's all they did was spam sleep and sleep and sleep and sleep. It literally put me to sleep just playing through the damn fight. It was ridiculous. So, never doing that again. I'm never doing that again. Okay. Oh, of course, there's an enemy right beside me as soon as I try to move up. But I was trying to traverse more through the dungeon, as it is. And basically, I'm doing a dungeon per video because it just saves me time. And I don't want to make these parts go off more than 30 minutes. And if this dungeon ends up doing that, I don't know. I might just keep it in the video. There's a upstairs area. Okay. Anyway, there's an upstairs area over there, but I'm gonna go down the other passageway to see where that leads me. I believe that you get a spell here too. Remember that the spells are hidden that you need to get, so it really helps just to get those spells. Some of the spells are useful, especially, you know, for certain parts of the game. I mean, if you would just want to... Oh, wow. Great. Oh boy, no, they're both confused now. Great. We'll just bomb them. Kills them both. Good. I was gonna say, they're both confused now. That's not good. Okay. But basically, there's parts in the game where the spells will really, really come in use and make boss fights a lot easier. And you really want to do that because, yeah. Like, it helps so much. There's a doorway over there I could go in, but I believe going down here would help too. As long as there's no invisible enemies. Ah, right through the right in front of the doorway. That's just what I needed. It's like I'm predicting that I can see where the invisible enemies are. But yeah, let's go through here. And this leads to a weird part of the dungeon, which, like I said, poke the statue with the sword, get some arrows. Okay. Ah, of course, jerks. Jerk game makers, man. They always have to do this. But it's okay, we're getting gold, we're getting EXP. Yeah, like I said, we're gonna be level 16 by the end of this dungeon. I know that. I really should be switching to my axe and just finishing off the enemies, which I'll do. Actually, you know what? Switch to the claw. Bam! Yeah, claw does decent damage. I'll keep it away. Claw is kind of useless though, because you don't really make use of it other than just the one area of the game. Actually, there's like 2 areas of the game where you need the claws. But other than that, the claws are quite useless. So, like, they're a good item to have. But yeah, there's only like 2 parts in the game where you really need it. Unfortunately, but yeah. That's kind of what I hate about some games, is that when you get items that are just completely useless that you don't really make use of throughout the game. And we leveled up, which is always good. But like in a lot of games, you get items that are just, yeah, you just really want to make use of them, but you can't because none of the dungeons really do that. Which, I don't know, it kind of bugs me, but, you know, I guess, you know, for what it is in a game. There we go. They poison claws. That's what they are, actually, I think, is that the claws actually poison. This just took me up to the 3rd floor. And I believe there's nothing over that way. I know there's a spell here that you can get. I'll have to look into that. Maybe I missed it. I'll probably get it in, like, another video. Like, maybe, like, a video where I go and get the stuff that I missed. But, other than that, this game isn't really that hard. I mean, there is stuff in this game where you can miss your first time through and fucking invisible enemies. Okay. Hit the birds with the bow and arrow. The birds are always weak to arrows, remember that? So, it's never a bad thing. But also remember that the birds can petrify you, which is a huge problem. So, you want to kill them ASAP. Or you can just spam your bombs like me. Which I'm probably going to run out by the end of the dungeon. Which is not going to be a good thing. Here we go. Bam. Kill these guys. Easy as pie. Alright. Invisible enemy? Yep. Just as I predicted. Okay. Okay, there we go. Get this. Alright. Always good to have arrows. Always, always good. Of course. But yeah, there's a switch we gotta get to go through that doorway. Which, that's kind of what we need to do. We'll bomb that crab. Because this game apparently has an obsession with crabs for whatever reason. But, oh yeah, these enemies, just take them out with bombs. That's all you have to do. Yep, there we go. Simple as that.